Tonight with new questions about a school resource officer at Ferris High School. Shawn Audie was involved in a fight at that school, which left 2 staff members injured and 3 students under arrest. Before coming to Ferris, Audie was a deputy in the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. Court documents show he has a history of cases involving the use of excessive force. KREM 2's Shawn Audie joins us now in the newsroom with more on the school's investigation.
Yeah, thanks, Casey. Brian Coddington with Spokane Public Schools tells me that the fight at Ferris High School has now been reviewed. And he also says the school officer that was involved was found not at fault. On January 24th, Ferris High School was on lockdown due to a fight involving 3 students and 3 school staff members. One of those staff members was former Spokane County Sheriff's Deputy Shawn Audie. Controversy around this fight comes after students say the officer pinned one of the involved students to the floor. But after reviewing the fight, Brian Coddington, spokesperson with Spokane Public Schools, says, quote, no violation was found, unquote. Coddington says Audie will remain as a member of school staff. Before Audie was hired with Spokane Public Schools, court documents indicate that he was involved in at least 2 cases where he was accused of excessive force. Brian Coddington says no discussion around any of these cases came up at the time of Audie's application and interview process with Spokane Public Schools. Coddington also says Audie's previous supervisor at the sheriff's office was a reference on the former deputy's application and gave him a favorable recommendation. Now, Audie and another Spokane County deputy were involved in a wrongful death lawsuit back in 2013. The case was filed after a man died outside of the South Hill Oz Fitness, but the jury later ruled against awarding his family any money. I reached out to Deputy Mark Gregory, spokesperson for the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, but he declined to comment on Audie's previous employment with them. Yeah, now some students have been sharing video of what they say was the fight that happened, but Coddington says he can't confirm any events during or before the fight. So we've chosen not to show that video as it may not give a complete view of that day's incident. Coddington also says Audie still remains an employee of Spokane Public Schools and that most recently he's been working at North Central High School. Reporting in the newsroom, Shawn Audie, KREM 2 News.
Ferris High School students protested after a fight involving students where teachers and a school resource officer intervened last night. And some students claim that school resource officer was too rough.
Tonight he's on leave as the school looks into use of force accusations in the past.
That is f***ing racist. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all you Look at that Look at that. What are you doing?
You don't need to be doing
Yes,
that.
I do. Do you not see that bull? Oh, no right? Yeah, you're nah.
All you're trying to do is get things riled up. We don't want
All I'm trying to do is see what the
A Spokane campus resource officer is on leave as the district looks into reported civil complaints of excessive use of force.
Over the weekend, we learned that Shawn Audie, the school resource officer who was involved in an altercation at Ferris High School 2 weeks ago, has had 3 use of force lawsuits against him when he was a Spokane County deputy.
One of those complaints included an incident where a man died. KREM 2's Alexa Block looked into the district's hiring practices in light of this new information.
Police were called to Ferris High School 2 weeks ago for a reported fight. 3 students ended up being arrested and 3 staff members were hurt.
Justice! When do we want it? Now!
Controversy surrounding the fight comes after students say campus resource officer Shawn Audie pinned one of the students involved to the floor.
The incident has been reviewed, and to this point, there's been no indication of violation of school district policy.
But the district is now looking into Audie's background a bit further after reports surfaced of 3 federal complaints against him during his tenure as a sheriff's deputy. According to the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, he was about to be fired before he quit last year during an internal investigation of an excessive use of force allegation. Before Audie was with the school district, court documents show that he was involved in 2 civil cases where he was accused of excessive force. And he was named in a wrongful death suit stemming from the 2013 death of William Berger. Berger died after a confrontation with deputies outside what used to be Oz Fitness on Spokane South Hill. Officials said Deputy Audie and another deputy tased Berger and wrestled him to the ground in a chokehold. A school district spokesperson says they do criminal background checks on every potential campus resource officer, but they don't usually look into civil cases. They also check in with the most recent employer of the candidate. We're told Audie passed the criminal background check and met the district's requirements. The district says they have it on record that they contacted the sheriff's office and there were no red flags. The sheriff's office says they were not contacted. Campus resource officers already have law enforcement training. That's a must to have this job. And they continually train. Each year they undergo 80 hours of training, and this includes de-escalation tactics. The district spokesperson says they are reviewing the previous civil cases.
That information is new to us, and as such we're going through a process right now to verify that information and its accuracy. The officer is on leave right now as we do that process and to make sure that the information is accurate and then how it applies to our hiring practices as well.
Alexa Block, KREM 2 News.